You hand over your suitcase at check-in, get your receipt, and walk away thinking your job is done. But what you don't know is that your bag is about to enter a hidden world that airlines never tell you about. In the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal 7 shocking things that happen to your luggage after you check it. Things that could mean the difference between your bag arriving safely or disappearing forever. Some of these secrets are so closely guarded that even airline employees don't want you to know them. If you're over 60 or planning any trip in 2026, you cannot afford to miss what I'm about to tell you. Thing number 1. Your bag enters a high-speed automated maze. The moment your checked bag disappears behind that check-in counter, it's immediately thrown into what can only be described as a high-speed automated maze that most passengers never see. This isn't the gentle conveyor belt you might imagine. We're talking about a complex network of belts, switches, and sorters that can span several miles within a single terminal. Here's what airlines don't want you to know. These baggage handling systems process between 5,000 to 10,000 bags per hour, with major airports like Istanbul handling up to 30,000 bags per hour during peak times. Your suitcase is just one piece in this massive mechanical operation that never stops. At major airports like Atlanta or Chicago O'Hare, these systems process over 100,000 bags daily, and your luggage is racing through this system faster than you can imagine. The first thing that happens is your bag gets scanned by an automatic tag reader. That's the ATR system. This machine reads the barcode on your baggage tag in milliseconds and makes an instant decision about where your bag needs to go. But here's the scary part. If that barcode is even slightly damaged, smudged, or poorly printed, the system can't read it properly. When that happens, your bag gets diverted to what's called a manual encoding station, where a human worker has to figure out where it's supposed to go. This is where things can go terribly wrong. That human worker might be dealing with hundreds of problem bags during their shift. They're tired, they're rushed, and they're making split-second decisions about your luggage. If they misread your destination code or accidentally send your bag down the wrong chute, you could end up in Miami while your suitcase takes a vacation in Minneapolis. The crossbelt sorters that move your bag through this system are incredibly fast and efficient when they work correctly. Advanced systems achieve 99.5% to 99.9% accuracy rates. Emirates reports a 99.9% success rate with only 1.4 bags mishandled per 1,000. But that small error rate still represents thousands of bags every day that end up in the wrong place. And if your bag is one of them, you might not find out until you're standing at an empty baggage carousel, wondering where your belongings went. What makes this even more concerning is that these systems are largely automated. There aren't humans watching every bag as it moves through the maze. The computers make the decisions, and if something goes wrong, it can take hours or even days before anyone realizes your bag is missing. During peak travel seasons like Christmas or summer vacation, when these systems are processing maximum capacity, the chances of errors increase dramatically. Your bag could be sitting in the wrong sorting bin for hours before anyone notices the mistake. The maze also includes multiple decision points where your bag's path can change. Destination changes, gate swaps, and aircraft substitutions can all trigger automatic rerouting of your luggage through different parts of the system. Each of these decision points creates another opportunity for something to go wrong, especially if the computer systems aren't perfectly synchronized with real-time flight operations. Thing number 2. Your luggage gets secretly screened multiple times. While you're walking to your gate thinking about your upcoming trip, your checked bag is being put through a security screening process that's far more intensive than what you experienced at the passenger checkpoint. This is something airlines rarely discuss because they don't want passengers to worry about what's happening to their belongings behind the scenes. Every single checked bag goes through what's called the Checked Baggage Inspection System, or CBIS, using explosive detection. System EDS technology. These aren't the new CT scanners you might see for carry-on screening in 2025. Those are different systems. Your checked bag goes through specialized EDS machines that create detailed images of everything inside your suitcase. This isn't just one quick scan. Your bag might be screened multiple times by different machines as it moves through the system. Here's what's truly shocking. These machines can see everything. Every item in your bag is analyzed by computer algorithms that are looking for suspicious shapes, densities, and materials. The system can identify the difference between a bottle of shampoo and a potential explosive device, but it can also flag innocent items that might look suspicious on the scanner. If your bag gets flagged, and this happens more often than you think, it gets automatically diverted to a manual inspection area. TSA agents will open your suitcase, go through your belongings, and potentially remove items they consider problematic. But here's the kicker. They don't always repack your bag the way you had it organized. Your carefully folded clothes might get stuffed back in haphazardly, and delicate items could be damaged in the process. What's even more concerning is that some bags get selected for additional screening based on random algorithms or passenger profiles. If you've been flagged for any reason, maybe you bought a last-minute ticket, maybe you're traveling to certain destinations, or maybe the computer just randomly selected you, your bag will get extra attention that could delay its journey to your final destination. The screening process can add significant time to your bag's journey through the system. While most bags move through quickly, those that require manual inspection can be delayed by 30 minutes to several hours. If you're on a tight connection, this delay could mean your bag misses your connecting flight, even if you make it to the gate on time. For senior travelers, this screening process can be particularly problematic because medications, medical devices, and personal care items often trigger additional scrutiny. Items like large bottles of prescription medications, medical equipment, or even certain vitamins and supplements can cause your bag to be flagged for manual inspection. The screening agents might not understand that these items are medically necessary, leading to delays or even confiscation of essential medications. The manual inspection process also varies significantly between different airports and even different shifts at the same airport. Some agents are more thorough than others, some are more careful about repacking, and some are simply having a bad day. Your bag's treatment during this process is largely dependent on which agent happens to be working when your luggage gets flagged. Thing number 3, your bag might sit in secret storage for hours. Here's something that will shock you. Your checked bag might not go directly to your plane. Instead, it could spend hours sitting in what's called early bag storage, or EBS, and you'll never know it happened. Airlines use these automated storage systems for several reasons, and none of them are designed with your convenience in mind. If you check your bag more than 3 hours before your flight, there's a good chance it will be stored in one of these systems rather than being loaded directly onto your aircraft. Salt Lake City Airport, for example, has an EBS system with 36 lanes that can hold 864 bags for early check-ins. The airline's computer decides when to release your bag from storage based on flight schedules, aircraft arrival times, and baggage loading priorities. But here's where it gets problematic. These storage systems aren't perfect. Bags can get stuck in storage carousels, computer glitches can cause bags to be forgotten, and mechanical failures can prevent bags from being released at the right time. When this happens, your bag misses your flight, even though it was checked in properly and went through all the security screening. What makes this even more frustrating is that the airline might not realize your bag is stuck in storage until after your flight has departed. The baggage loading crew assumes your bag is coming, but when it doesn't show up, they don't have time to investigate. Your flight leaves on schedule, and your bag sits in storage until someone figures out what went wrong. For passengers over 60 who often arrive at the airport early to avoid stress, this storage system can be particularly problematic. You think you're being responsible by checking in early, but you're actually increasing the chances that your bag will be delayed by the storage process. The storage systems are also vulnerable to power outages, computer crashes, and mechanical breakdowns. When these systems fail, hundreds of bags can be trapped until technicians can fix the problem. During peak travel times like holidays or summer vacation season, these failures can create massive baggage delays that affect thousands of passengers. The timing algorithms that control these storage systems are also imperfect. They are designed to optimize efficiency for the airline, not convenience for passengers. Your bag might be released from storage at the optimal time for the baggage handling system, but that might not align with your flight's actual departure time, especially if there are last-minute delays or gate changes. Some airports have multiple storage systems that don't communicate effectively with each other. Your bag might get stored in one system, but when it's time for release, the computer might look for it in a different system. This communication breakdown can cause significant delays and confusion, leaving your bag trapped in storage while airline staff try to figure out where it went. The storage process also creates additional handling touchpoints for your luggage. Each time your bag is moved into storage, stored, and then retrieved, it's being handled by different pieces of equipment and potentially different workers. More handling means more opportunities for damage, misrouting, or loss. Thing number 4. Human baggage handlers make critical decisions about your luggage. Despite all the automation in modern baggage handling systems, human workers still make crucial decisions about your luggage that can determine whether it arrives safely at your destination. These baggage handlers are working under intense pressure, often in difficult conditions, and they have just seconds to make decisions that could affect your entire trip. When your bag reaches the aircraft, baggage handlers have to decide how to load it into the cargo hold. This isn't just about throwing bags into a pile. There's a specific science to aircraft loading that affects weight distribution, balance, and safety. But here's what airlines don't tell you. These workers are often rushing to meet tight turnaround schedules, and mistakes happen. Baggage handlers might load your bag in the wrong cargo compartment, which could mean it gets unloaded at the wrong destination during a connecting flight. They might stack heavy bags on top of your delicate suitcase, potentially damaging your belongings. Or they might simply misread the destination tag and put your bag on the wrong cart heading to a different aircraft. The working conditions for baggage handlers are often harsh, and research confirms these challenges are real. They're working outside in all weather conditions, from freezing temperatures and snow in winter to extreme heat on hot tarmac in summer. They work irregular shifts, including nights, weekends, and holidays, with high injury risk from heavy lifting and physically demanding conditions. These factors can lead to fatigue, mistakes, and accidents that directly affect your luggage. What's particularly concerning is the high turnover rate among baggage handling staff. Many airports struggle to maintain experienced crews, which means your bag might be handled by someone who's new to the job and still learning the procedures. Training programs exist, but they can't replicate the pressure and complexity of real-world baggage operations. Baggage handlers also have to deal with equipment failures, last-minute gate changes, and aircraft swaps that can disrupt the entire loading process. When a plane gets moved to a different gate at the last minute, your bag might end up being loaded onto the wrong aircraft simply because the handlers didn't get updated information in time. The communication between different shifts of baggage handlers can also be problematic. If your bag gets partially processed during one shift and then handed off to another crew, important information about special handling requirements or destination changes might not be communicated effectively. This breakdown in communication can lead to your bag being mishandled or sent to the wrong location. During peak travel periods, baggage handlers are under even more pressure to process luggage quickly. Airlines schedule very tight turnaround times to maximize aircraft utilization, which means handlers have less time to double-check their work. The faster pace increases the likelihood of mistakes, especially when dealing with complex itineraries or special handling requirements. Weather conditions also significantly impact the quality of baggage handling. During rain, snow, or extreme temperatures, handlers are working in uncomfortable and sometimes dangerous conditions. Wet or icy surfaces make it harder to move equipment safely, and extreme temperatures can affect both human performance and equipment reliability. Your bag might be handled more roughly or less carefully when weather conditions are challenging. Thing number 5, your bag's journey. Gets tracked, but the system isn't perfect. Airlines want you to believe that modern baggage tracking systems know exactly where your bag is at all times, but the reality is far more complicated. While it's true that bags are scanned at multiple points throughout their journey, these tracking systems have significant blind spots and vulnerabilities that can leave you without accurate information about your luggage. The tracking process relies on barcode scans and RFID technology, but these systems only work when the scanners can read your bag's tag clearly. If your baggage tag gets damaged, torn, or covered with dirt during handling, the scanners might not be able to read it. When this happens, your bag essentially becomes invisible to the tracking system, even though it's still moving through the airport. While newer RFID tracking systems deployed in 2025 have largely eliminated the blind spots that plagued older barcode-only systems, achieving 99 to 99.9% read accuracy, there can still be discrete gaps between antenna coverage points, especially during manual handling on the tarmac or at airports that haven't fully upgraded their infrastructure. Your bag might be scanned when it leaves the check-in area, then not scanned again until it reaches the aircraft loading area. If something goes wrong during that gap, if your bag gets diverted for additional screening, if it falls off a conveyor belt, or if it gets loaded onto the wrong cart, the tracking system won't know about it until the next scan point. The tracking data that airlines show you in their apps is often delayed by 15 to 30 minutes. So, when the app says your bag was just loaded onto your aircraft, that information might be outdated. Your bag could have already been unloaded due to a last-minute aircraft change, but you won't know about it until much later. International flights create additional tracking complications because different countries use different baggage handling systems that don't always communicate effectively with each other. Your bag might be tracked perfectly within the United States, but once it reaches an international destination, it could disappear from the tracking system until it's manually scanned at the foreign airport. Weather delays, equipment failures, and system maintenance can also disrupt tracking systems. During major storms or technical outages, baggage tracking might be completely offline, leaving airlines with no real-time information about where bags are located. When this happens, finding a missing bag becomes a manual process that can take days or weeks. The integration between different airline systems also creates tracking problems. If you're flying on a code-share flight or connecting between different airlines, your bag might be tracked by multiple systems that don't share information effectively. Each airline might have different tracking capabilities and different update frequencies, creating gaps in the information available to you. Even when tracking systems are working perfectly, they can only tell you where your bag was last scanned, not where it actually is at any given moment. Your bag might have been scanned at the aircraft loading area, but that doesn't guarantee it actually made it onto your plane. Equipment failures, last-minute weight restrictions, or loading errors could prevent your bag from being loaded even after it was scanned as loaded. Thing number 6, connecting flights. Create hidden risks for your luggage. If your trip involves connecting flights, your checked bag faces a completely different set of risks that most passengers never consider. The process of transferring bags between flights is where the majority of baggage problems occur, and it's also where airlines have the least control over what happens to your luggage. When you have a connecting flight, your bag has to be unloaded from your first aircraft, transported across the airport to your connecting flight, and loaded onto the new plane, all within a very tight time window. At busy hub airports, this process involves multiple baggage handling crews, different pieces of equipment, and complex logistics that can easily go wrong. Here's what airlines don't want you to admit. The minimum connection time that they sell you might not be enough for your bag to make the transfer, even if it's enough time for you to walk between gates. While you can run through the airport to catch your connecting flight, your bag is dependent on baggage carts, conveyor systems, and ground crews that operate on their own schedule. The transfer process is particularly vulnerable during bad weather, equipment breakdowns, or when flights are delayed. If your incoming flight arrives late, the baggage crew might prioritize getting passengers off the plane quickly, rather than ensuring all bags are unloaded and transferred properly. Your bag could be left on the aircraft and continue to the plane's next destination while you board your connecting flight. International connections create even more complications, because your bag might have to go through customs inspection, additional security screening, or be transferred between different terminals that use separate baggage systems. Some airports require all international transfer bags to be physically moved by truck between terminals, which adds time and creates more opportunities for bags to be lost or delayed. What makes this particularly frustrating is that airlines often don't know your bag missed a connection until after your flight has departed. The baggage loading crew for your connecting flight assumes your bag is coming, but when it doesn't arrive, they don't have time to investigate before the plane needs to leave. You land at your destination expecting your bag to be there, only to discover it's still sitting at your connection airport. The complexity of hub-and-spoke airline operations makes connection transfers even more challenging. Major hub airports like Atlanta, Chicago, or Dallas handle thousands of connecting bags every hour. The sheer volume of transfers creates opportunities for bags to be misrouted, delayed, or lost in the shuffle. Your bag might be correctly unloaded from your first flight, but then placed on the wrong transfer cart or sent to the wrong gate area. Different airlines also have different baggage handling procedures and equipment, which can create problems when you're connecting between carriers. Even if you booked your entire trip on one ticket, your bags might be handled by different ground service companies at each airport, each with their own procedures and systems. The timing of connection transfers is also affected by factors beyond airline control. Air traffic delays, gate availability, and ground traffic congestion can all impact how quickly bags can be transferred between flights. During peak travel times, the baggage transfer areas can become congested, slowing down the entire process and increasing the risk that your bag will miss its connection. Thing number 7, weather and equipment failures can strand your bag for days. The final thing you need to know about what happens after you check your bag is how vulnerable the entire system is to weather events and equipment failures that can strand your luggage for days or even weeks. Airlines rarely discuss these vulnerabilities because they don't want passengers to understand how fragile the baggage handling process really is. Severe weather doesn't just delay flights. It can completely shut down baggage operations at major airports. When this happens, thousands of bags can be stranded in the baggage system with no way to reach their destinations. Ice storms can freeze conveyor belts, flooding can damage sorting equipment, and high winds can make it unsafe for baggage crews to work on the tarmac. But here's what's truly shocking. Even after the weather clears and flights resume, it can take days for the baggage system to recover. Bags that were stranded during the weather event have to be manually sorted, rerouted, and loaded onto flights that now have limited cargo space because they're carrying bags from previous delayed flights. Equipment failures can be even more disruptive than weather because they often happen without warning and can affect specific parts of the baggage system for extended periods. When a major conveyor belt breaks down or a sorting machine fails, bags can be backed up for hours while technicians work to fix the problem. During peak travel periods, these equipment failures can create a domino effect that disrupts baggage operations for days. The most vulnerable points in the system are the automated sorting machines and the early bag storage systems we discussed earlier. When these systems fail, airports often have to resort to manual sorting processes that are much slower and more error-prone than the automated systems. Your bag might be sitting in a pile with thousands of other bags while airport workers try to sort them by hand. Power outages can shut down entire baggage systems, leaving thousands of bags trapped in conveyor belts and storage carousels. Even brief power interruptions can cause computer systems to lose track of where bags are located, requiring manual verification before bags can continue their journey. What makes these situations particularly problematic for passengers over 60 is that airlines often don't provide clear information about when stranded bags will be delivered. You might be told your bag will arrive on the next flight, but if the baggage system is still recovering from a major disruption, it could be several more days before your luggage actually reaches you. The recovery process after major disruptions is also complicated by the fact that airlines prioritize getting current operations back to normal over dealing with backlogged bags. Your stranded luggage might sit in a warehouse for days, while the airline focuses on handling bags for flights that are currently operating. This means that even after the initial problem is resolved, it can take additional time for your bag to work its way through the backlog. Seasonal weather patterns also create predictable stress points in the baggage system. Winter storms in the northeast, summer thunderstorms in the southeast, and hurricane season along the Gulf Coast all create recurring challenges that the system struggles to handle effectively. If you're traveling during these high-risk periods, your bag faces significantly higher chances of being delayed or stranded. The interconnected nature of the airline system means that weather problems in one location can affect baggage operations across the entire network. A major storm in Chicago can disrupt baggage operations in airports as far away as Los Angeles or Miami, as bags that were supposed to connect through Chicago get rerouted through other hubs that aren't equipped to handle the additional volume. Conclusion: Now you know the 7 hidden truths about what really happens to your checked bag after you hand it over at the airport. From high-speed automated mazes to secret storage systems, from human error to equipment failures, your luggage faces risks and challenges that airlines never want you to understand. The next time you check a bag, remember these secrets. Take photos of your luggage and its contents. Make sure your baggage tags are clean and clearly readable. Consider the risks of tight connections and early check-in times. And always have a backup plan for essential items in case your bag doesn't arrive when you do. If you found these baggage secrets shocking, wait until you see what I reveal next week about the hidden fees. Airlines are planning for 2026 that could cost you hundreds of dollars if you don't know about them. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss these critical travel warnings that could save your next trip. Don't let the airlines keep you in the dark about what really happens to your luggage. Share this video with anyone you know who travels, especially if they're over 60 and need to know these insider secrets. Your bag's journey through the airport is far more complex and risky than you ever imagined, but now you have the knowledge to protect yourself.